Here is something I need you to sit with. The qualities that are most associated with great leadership: decisiveness, strategic thinking, the ability to challenge status quo, resilience under pressure, are also the qualities for which women are often penalized when they display them. I want you to think about that for a moment. The very traits that make someone an excellent leader are the traits that in a woman are most likely to be labeled as difficult, aggressive, or too much. Today, we talk about how you navigate that contradiction and how you claim leadership any which way. Women make up less than 15% of C suite leaders in India. This despite making up close to 26% of the formal workforce, a gap that has barely moved in a decade. The most common explanation is the pipeline. There simply aren't enough women coming through at junior levels, but the data tells a more complicated story. Women enter organizations at comparable rates to men. The gap widens progressively at every level going up. And this is not a pipeline problem. It is a retention and promotion problem. So, factor one is the broken rung. The biggest drop in women's representation happens at the first promotion to manager. If women don't make that first step at equal rates, every subsequent level compounds that gap. Factor two is the sponsorship deficit. Men are sponsored, actively advocated for by senior leaders at significantly higher rates than women. Mentorship gives you advice, sponsorship gives you the opportunity. They are not the same thing. Factor three is the double bind. Women who display leadership behaviors are rated as less likable, which affects their perceived culture fit, which affects their promotion decision. This is a structural problem dressed up as a personal one. So let's talk about what actually moves the needle based on evidence, not advice that was written for someone else's career. Strategy one: get a sponsor, not just a mentor. A mentor advises you, a sponsor advocates for you in rooms that you are not in. Identify two or three senior people who have seen your work and can speak to your impact. Cultivate those relationships with intention, not with an agenda, but with genuine investment. Strategy two: make your ambition visible. Research consistently shows that women are less likely to express their desire for senior roles directly because they have been taught that ambition in women reads as threatening. Say it out loud to your manager. I want to lead at the next level. Here is what I'm doing to prepare for it. You cannot be sponsored for what people don't know you want. Strategy three: build cross-functional visibility. Your direct line is not the only line that matters. Be known beyond your immediate team through project leadership, industry involvement, thought leadership, internal presentations. The people who reach the top are often those who are known across the organization, not just up it. Strategy 4: take the stretch assignment even when you don't feel ready. Research by KPMG found that 67% of women say they wish they had taken on more risk in their career. You will not feel fully ready. Take it anyway. Readiness is built through doing, not through waiting for something to happen. Now, I want to spend some time here because I think this is the conversation that is often most missing. There has been a long and well-intentioned tradition of telling women that to succeed in leadership, they need to adopt masculine leadership styles. Be more decisive, be more commanding, take up more space. And some of that is useful, but some of it is asking you to perform someone else's version of power. And performances, however good, are exhausting and ultimately unsustainable. The most effective leaders I've seen are not the ones who perform authority. They are the ones who are completely clear on what they value, how they make decisions, and what they stand for. And they lead from that clarity. Own your own communication style. If you lead with questions rather than directives, that is not a weakness. That is a coaching leadership style that builds more capable teams. Name it as a strategy, not an apology. Lead with your strengths of empathy, consensus building, long term thinking. These are not soft skills. These are the skills that prevent organizational failure. Own them as leadership assets. Set the culture you want. Every leader creates a culture, consciously or not. What do you want your team to say about working with you? Define that deliberately and make decisions that are consistent with it. For those of you who are already in senior roles or approaching them, let's talk about what actually happens when you get to the table. If you are the only woman or one of the very few in a senior team, you will face the dual burden of representing yourself and being perceived as representing all women without actually it being said. You're not obligated to carry that. You are allowed to be an individual, not a symbol. You already know the strategies from episode 3. At the leadership level, the most effective additional tool is this: build your ideas into alliances before the meeting. Talk to the key stakeholders beforehand. Arrive at the meeting not as a person presenting an idea, but as the person confirming a decision that has already built momentum. The most consistent characteristic of great women leaders I have observed is this: they use their position to open doors rather than close them. They bring other women in. They sponsor, they advocate, they name the names of talented people who are being overlooked. This is not altruism. It is how you build organizations that are worth leading. By being a leader, worth being followed. So I want to say this clearly: the responsibility of closing the leadership gap does not rest only with individual women doing more, working harder, or navigating more skillfully. Organizations have a responsibility too, and women in positions of any influence have both the right and the ability to hold them to it. Ask for the data. Ask your HR team for the promotion rates by gender at each level. Ask for the pay equity analysis. Ask for the sponsorship program data. Companies that are serious about equity have this data. Companies that are not will not want you to ask. Ask anyway. Name the gap publicly in town halls, in strategy discussions, in performance conversations, even when the topic of talent development arises. Make equity a part of that conversation explicitly. You do not have to be aggressive. You do have to be consistent. Use your voice to amplify others when you see a talented woman being overlooked. Name her. In the meeting where the promotion list is being discussed, in the conversation where a project lead is being chosen, your voice in that room is the most direct tool you have. 2 actions this week. First, identify one stretch opportunity you have been hesitating to pursue. Not because you're not qualified, because you have been waiting to feel fully ready. Apply for it, ask for it, or put your name forward for this week. Second, have one explicit conversation about your ambition with your manager or a senior sponsor. It is not subtle. It's not supposed to be subtle. It is not implied. It is explicit. I want to lead at the next level. I am working towards it. I would like your support. Or what do I need to do? These 2 conversations done consistently do more for your career trajectory than almost anything else you could do this week. That table was built without you in mind. That does not mean you don't belong there. It means the table needs to expand. And you are exactly the person to make that happen. Episode 5 is next: hybrid work, because the data shows that visibility in hybrid environments is not evenly distributed. And for women, the stakes are particularly high. Don't miss it. Subscribe, share, and tell me what is the one thing holding you back from the next level of leadership. Drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it.